Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another week of Ministry Messages. And you know what I'm going to say? We have an amazing service coming up this week, so I'm inviting you to join us on Sunday at 9:45. And it truly is a wonderful service. This Sunday, the service is titled Sharing the Good News. But the good news that we're going to be sharing is we're going to also be welcoming some new members into our community. So I don't want you to miss that. So come so you can welcome them virtually as they join our Emerson community. And these folks are daring. They have joined our community without ever even seeing the building. Isn't that amazing? Although when they got to sign the book, you'll recognize where they're doing the signing. So please join us on Sunday, 9:45 for our service. And then as always, we have our wonderful second hour opportunities, fellowship time, and then some adult and children and youth activities on second hour. And you know, this Sunday, sharing the good news, when we talk about sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism, part of that good news is the work that we do for justice. And I know you all know that there's many opportunities that we offer at Emerson for you to get engaged. And I really wanted to invite two very special ladies into the conversation today who are doing some really great work in helping us, giving you, all of us, an opportunity to really practice our faith and put our faith in action. So I'm going to invite right now, without any further ado, the wonderful Helen Hobson and Ann Mason. Welcome, Helen and Ann.
Hi, Deborah. Hi.
It's so good to see you guys, you gals. So the thing that we're going to talk about that I invited you to talk about today is something called community action circles. So why don't you take it away? Like how these happen on Friday, right?
Ann, you want to talk
Sure,
about that?
I'll start. These happen on Friday. We were doing it every Friday. We're now doing it every other Friday, the second and fourth Friday of the month. And these circles were started by Helen quite a while ago. What we do, we start with a chalice lighting and maybe have a quick check-in. And one person in the circle makes a list of different causes that we can do something about. It could be signing a petition, making a call to a representative or some other individual, writing letters, sending emails. There are a lot of things that we do. And what's great about it is that there are several of us getting together at one time, and we have a list. If we want to put something on the list, we just get it to, send it to the person that's making the list, and we can all do it. And it means that we get to sign things and do things and learn about things that we might not otherwise have known about.
So let me be clear about this. So these are all things that you can take action in that moment. So you're not getting together to plan some action in the future. It's like, here's something we can do right now. Is that the idea?
That is the idea. And beyond that, because we have the list, if we can't get through it all in our hour, we can do it at a later time and just, keep going with our actions.
Awesome. And Helen, what are some of the actions that you address? Like, what are some of the issues that might be something that you can work with in that short period of time?
Yeah, so when we started this, we started it right after COVID started. The idea came from the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, and really started out by so many of the needs around the pandemic and a lot of the vulnerable communities that were being left out. And so really, there's a lot going on in our country right now. And so whoever's leading it, we pay attention to what's happening. Maybe it's in Cobb County. So we've had issues come up with the Cobb County School Board, and we might take some time and email every school board member, and then you usually hear back from them. Not during that hour, but during that hour we can do it. There are things at the state level. We've definitely been in touch with state representatives. We just recently called and emailed about the new possible election laws in Georgia. We also do things on the national level. Sometimes there are groups after the George Floyd death, after George Floyd was murdered, there were a lot of calls for action. And one of the things that I like about this circle is that calling is not my favorite thing to do. and it can make me feel really uncomfortable. And what I like about the group is that we're there to really support one another. There's a sense of solidarity among us, so that maybe if a group such as the Movement for Black Lives is asking, I think one time we called the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow.
Called that office to say we need to investigate the Breonna Taylor case. And so it can be intimidating. You don't know who's gonna pick up the phone or if you're gonna leave a message, but I always know the group is there. So there's this feeling that I'm just a little uncomfortable doing this, but I know that group is right there. And at the end, we'll take a little debrief. We'll say, hey, did anybody have an interesting phone call? So it's a very supportive way to maybe dip my toe into something that might not be that comfortable, but that we've been asked to do that, could have an impact.
Wow, that's incredible, Helen, and such a good point too, because not everybody's comfortable with doing all those things, and or even knows what to do, right? A lot of times people say, well, I wish I could do something. So part of this group is also getting together to pick what those things are and make them really, it sounds like they touch into big issues, but they can be like little bites of something that you can really do some action in that moment. That's really incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you have brought this to Emerson. So just, it is on Zoom. So it's every other Friday.
Second and fourth Fridays.
Fourth Fridays. Okay. And that's always in the notebook. And the link is also, I would imagine, on the website as well. I'd like to hear more from both of you, because it sounds like, Helen, I was intrigued when you said it was like something you were a little afraid of, but you did it anyway. So I'm just curious, what does really draw you to this work? Because I know you're both so involved in the justice work of the congregation and beyond the congregation. What is it about that draws you?
Anne, you want to start?
Sure. I do like doing things in a group, and being isolated more at this time is difficult. But I also like learning of other things that I didn't know about and getting a list so I can just sort of go down the list and work on it, or work on it on my own time. I think that's another advantage of it. And I like also that we can unite with others. For instance, we did a lot of letter writing and signing of petitions around the closing of the Irwin Detention Center, where you may remember Dawn Wooten, one of the nurses there, talked about, publicly blew the whistle about non-protection for COVID and also on non-consensual, unnecessary surgeries of the women there. So in doing that, we were uniting with the Detention Watch Network, which includes Project South, GLAR, Georgia Latino Alliance for Human Rights, and South Georgia Immigrant Network. So it's a good way for us to support each other in the community, which I really like.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Helen? You do so much justice work. What drives you to do that? Like what calls you?
Well, I think that our UU values really directly call me to do this. And so many of our principles, it's just infused within there. And, and I believe so strongly in them. And I would agree with Anne. It's like I could try doing things in isolation. And isolation sounds bad. I could do it individually, but there really is a power to doing this in a group. I think we feel like we're actually having some impact as we do this as a group. And I think it's also where we get the actions. I think a big part of Unitarian Universalism is helping us be able to listen to what is being asked of us to do by affected communities. And maybe we're just making a phone call, but it's something that a group has said, this is important and we think this would make a difference. And so really just listening and knowing that we're responding to things that have been asked for us to do. And that, to me, that feels like it's not us thinking we know what needs to be done, but really listening. And that's not always comfortable, but we have each other in that circle.
And it's such a learning. It's such a learning. And so thank you both for being leaders in this area for Emerson and for all of us, and continuing to not only do the work yourself, but offer the opportunity for others to get involved. So everyone, I really invite you to check out the newsletter, check out our website for the link, and really join this lovely group of folks and get involved. Really dip your toe in, like Helen said, and just, see what that feels like, to really get involved and make some impact. And Friday doesn't work for you, I'm sure Helen and Ann would accept emails from you, and they can also help you figure out how to get involved in ways outside of that little time frame, because I know not Friday at 4 o'clock doesn't work for everybody. So anyway, thank you both. I wish we could just talk for another hour. I'd love to pick both your brains more and just hear more from you. But I invite all of you, reach out to Helen and Ann and see how their journey in Emerson with justice work see where it's taken them, and perhaps consider getting more involved yourself. So hope I didn't just open that up to something. You guys okay getting some emails?
Sure.
All right. So thank you, everybody. I will see you on Sunday. Let's welcome our new members, and let's put our faith in action. Take care.
We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? I let it go back to when we played as kids, but things changed. That's the way it is. Come on.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.